Hello and welcome to this week's live episode of Truth Be Told Minuteman Report, coming to you from an undisclosed location somewhere in North America. This is Robert Hensley, your Truth Be Told Minuteman, and today we're talking about, well, Valentine's Day, because it's Valentine's Day. And I, wanted to go down the rabbit hole with you a little bit about this, widely celebrated day, which has been, heinously commercialized, I feel. But how did it start? Where did it come from? How did we get here? That and a few other things we're going to chat about on today's episode. So, you may have seen the artwork, Valentine's Day, creating a commercialized monster. That's today's show. So let's start with Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is celebrated every February 14th. It's also known as the Feast of Saint Valentine, and it is actually named for two martyrs. There is the Valentine of Tenerife, which scholars can't exactly figure out what he did or why he was martyred. And then there's Saint Valentine of Rome, who, it is said, and there are multiple stories here. Some say that he ministered to Christians when it was illegal. Others say that he married Roman soldiers when it was not allowed. Anyway, he ends up in prison, and the story goes that he healed the jailer's daughter was blind, Julia, and he healed her of her blindness, and then the jailer and 44 members of his family became baptized and became Christians. And then in the 18th century, that story kind of blossomed, if you will. And it is stated that Saint Valentine actually wrote Julia a letter before his execution, which was signed "Your Valentine." So he wrote the first Valentine's Day decree or profession of love. However, there are some scholars who try to debunk this, but others that will support it, that Valentine's Day, this celebration of romantic love, does have roots into the ancient Roman practice or festival of Lupercalia, which is basically a celebration of the wolf. But it was a purity festival. And it lasts for 3 days. So it starts on the 13th, goes through the 14th, and ends on the 15th. And the first day is about purging. It's where you clean your house, you remove all of the things that are dirty and broken that you don't need anymore, that have no use in your life. Then there is renewal, which is usually participating in a milk bath. And then on the third day is about praise and faith and asking for blessings for the future. So that is Lupercalia. And Lupercalia is actually mentioned in, I believe it's Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, when Mark Antony tells Julius Caesar to strike his wife so that she might have a child, because Lupercalia is also, again, it's about fertility. It's a fertility festival as well. So that's where Valentine's Day started. And then kind of as things progressed, as we get to like the 17th and 18th centuries, we start seeing that there's more of a romanticized idea about Valentine's Day or Saint Valentine's Day or the Feast of Saint Valentine, where people are handwriting notes, their love letters, exchanging trinkets. In Italy, one of the it was really common to get a Saint Valentine's Key, which was given to your crush or your loved one as a way for them to unlock your heart. But they were also given to children to protect them against epilepsy or epileptic fits, which is known as St. Valentine's disease, right? So apparently it was an overabundance of passion that caused seizures. Who knew? Um, and then as things started progressing and we get into the industrial age, then it's no longer about writing Valentine's Day poems or letters or professions, but then people were able to buy mass-produced cards. And that is really the commercialization. That's when it starts, right? So when we start being able to mass produce and create, not necessarily things that were created from the heart as gifts, as treasures, but when we're able to kind of just throw shit out to everybody, right? Cards and chocolates and blah, 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 blah. And then it became something different where it doesn't necessarily have the same kind of meaning or the same, the same meaning. Same meaning as maybe it was meant to have. But also Valentine's Day is a dark time for a lot of people, right? There's a lot of pressure going on to either be in a relationship or not be in a relationship. And if you're like me, the one thing that you think about during Valentine's Day is dying alone. Anyway, so it brought up the story that I was reading yesterday where they found the mummy of an 87-year-old Italian woman in her house sitting at the table near Lake Como, right? George Clooney's backyard. And this woman hadn't been seen in like 2 or 3 years, and they discovered her. She apparently died of natural causes. She wasn't on any kind of assistance. Basically just was forgotten. And then of course that sent me down another rabbit hole, because you know how I love my rabbit holes, right? The internet, man, it's just, it gets me sometimes. Anyway, but there are all of these stories. I mean, and not all of them. I mean, they don't necessarily track back to Valentine's Day, but to this idea of forgotten people, right? Because if you are truly loved by someone, how are you forgotten? Right? So it leads you to wonder, like, how is it that someone gets to a point in their life where they die of natural causes in their home, and somehow the neighbors don't think to ask, or, relatives don't come looking, or, what leads to this thing where all of a sudden you're just, a drying corpse in your own home, waiting for someone to notice, right? Not so great. Anyway. So of course, yes, people get depressed. Mental health is questioned around Valentine's Day. There are a lot of people who make a lot of really hard demands on their lovers and the people who love them, and that really, it takes a toll this time of year. Trust me. So the other thing that I wanted to bring up about Valentine's Day is that, as well as being the holiday of love, in the US, right, it's also a day of tragedy, right, because there was the St. Valentine's Day massacre, right, in Chicago in 1929. Al Capone supposedly sent hitmen to a warehouse to take out the North Side gang, so Bugsy Siegel and Bugsy Malone, not even that. Bugs Moran. I knew it was a Bugs in there somewhere, right? I was going to get to it. Bugs Moran, George Bugs Moran. And the way that they set it up was crazy, right? So the neighbors apparently see these guys, some guys dressed in suits and trench coats with Thompson submachine guns, and then a couple of other people see cops. And there's all this gunfire, and then when they come out of the warehouse, the cops they're leading the guys in the trench coats out of this warehouse, and it looks like they've arrested somebody, right? But then when the real cops show up, it's a massacre. It's bloody. Like, there are 10 people dead. All these guys get shot down. Seven deaths. 5 of those people who were killed are affiliated with the North Side gang, right? So Bugs Moran's guys. And of course, Al Capone is sitting in his, house in Florida. Like, I have nothing to do with it. But it was known that there was a kind of a beef between he and Bugs, because a shipment of very expensive Canadian whiskey that had been kind of coming down the Detroit River got hijacked. And it was thought that the North Side gang had kind of taken it away from Al Capone. Al Capone was pissed off, and the best way to not get blamed for something is to have an alibi, and his alibi was that he was in Florida. So these are Valentine's Day, right? Like blah. So anyway, I hope you're having a happy Valentine's Day, that you've got someone wonderful to share it with, or you're sharing it with a lot of friends. I know that a lot of people celebrate Galentine's Day, where they go off with their girlfriends or a group of friends and have a fantastic time just together, and that's wonderful. So listen, and if you don't have someone, like, do yourself a favor, like treat yourself, right? Take yourself on a date, go have a good dinner, get something that you don't normally get all the time, get dessert, feel good about yourself, think about the accomplishments and what you are worthy of, and and then go home and watch something that you really wanted to see that no one will watch with you. Watch it by yourself, enjoy it, make the popcorn, have extra butter, and I'm saying all of this stuff, and I'm just kind of like, oh God, is this what my life has turned into? Because trust me, I'm right there with you, right? I'm right there with you. I have no plans, not spending it with anybody. So when I started looking into Valentine's Day stuff, of course, all of this kind of came up, and I thought, I'm just going to be really honest about it. And then on top of everything else, because I'm going to share this because it's hard to miss if you're watching this on YouTube. I went to trim my beard, and I got a little too close. I trimmed too much stuff, and now the double chin is way, way, way prominent, and I'm unhappy. So I'm not letting anyone have Valentine's Day, right? That's it. It's over. I'm telling you all the shitty stories. All right, enough of this. Thank you so much for listening to this week's live episode of Truth Be Told Minuteman Report. I am your Truth Be Told Minuteman, Robert Hensley. I hope that I shared some history with you that you didn't know, and I hope that you'll tune in on Wednesday for Bonnie Burkert's Truth Be Told Transformations at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and then of course Tony will be back with the original Truth Be Told on Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern, and because again, 3 times each week to get Truth Be Told content. And feel free to learn more about us and about the show online at www.truthbetoldworldwide.com. You can also click the shop button there and check out some of our cool, nifty gift items in our store. And if you like the content, be sure to like and share. And if you don't like it, keep it to yourself. Or no, better yet, if you don't like it, I always say this, if you don't like it, share it with your enemies. Make them watch it. All right, folks, have a good one. We'll see you next week for a new live episode of Truth Be Told Minuteman Report. See ya.